Inhale, rise hands up overhead. Exhale, twist to the right, bringing your left hand to your right knee and looking back over your right shoulder. Keep stretching the top of your head up toward the ceiling and avoid hunching your back. Inhale, bring arms back up overhead, and exhale, twist to the left, bringing your right hand to your left knee and looking back over your left shoulder. Inhale, rise up back to center. Exhale, bring your right hand to the mat. Stretch your left arm up over your head to the side for a big side body stretch. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, bring your left hand to the mat and reach your right hand overhead toward the left side. Inhale, come back up to center. Exhale, plant your hands on the mat and come into a tabletop position for a few rounds of cat and cow. Inhale, lift the gaze, drop your stomach. Exhale, arch your back, tuck your chin. Inhale, look up. Exhale, tuck your chin. Inhale, drop your stomach, arch your back. Exhale, round your back, look down. Inhale, look up. And exhale, arch your back. Come back into a neutral tabletop position. And now we're going to take a toe squat, so tuck your toes under and sit back on your heels. Coming into a shoulder stretch, bring your right hand over your head and bend your arm so that your hand is behind you, and reach your left hand up from underneath to grab a hold of your right hand. Release your hands and switching sides, bring your left hand up overhead and your right arm underneath to catch a hold of your left hand. Release your hands down onto the mat in front of you, shake out your feet, and now sit back on your heels and lift your knees up in the air. Release your knees back down to the mat, come into tabletop and step your right foot forward, lifting up into a low lunge. Coming into lizard pose, bring your hands to the inside of your right foot and heel toe your foot out to the side of your mat, rotating your knee outwards, coming onto the side of your foot and maybe dropping down onto your elbows if that is accessible to you. Keep dropping your hips toward the mat. If you are down on your elbows, come back up onto your hands, bring your foot back flat to the ground, and bring your right arm behind you, lifting up your back left foot to catch a hold of it with your right hand. Keep sinking your hips down toward the mat as you look back over your right shoulder. Gently release your left foot back to the mat. Straighten your right leg, flexing through the ankle, and fold down over your right knee. Bending back into your right knee, come back into a tabletop position and switch sides, bringing your left foot forward and lifting up into a low lunge, sinking your hips toward the mat. Drop your hands down to the inside of your leg, heel toe your left foot toward the side of your mat. Rotate your left knee out, coming onto the side of your left foot, and maybe coming down onto your elbows if that's accessible to you. If you are on your elbows, push back up onto your hand, plant your left foot onto the ground, and twist, bringing your left hand behind you, your right foot up, and sinking your hips down toward the ground, looking back over your left shoulder. Gently release your foot back to the ground behind you, straighten your left leg, flex through the ankle, and fold down over your left knee. Bending back through your left knee, bring it behind you to come into tabletop, and then step forward to the top of your mat, coming into a ragdoll fold, holding onto your elbows and maybe swaying in both directions. You can keep as much of a bend in your legs as is comfortable for you. Release your hands back to the mat. Inhale, rise up overhead. Exhale, release. Inhale, hands up overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, plant your hands, step your feet back into a plank and lower down onto your stomach. Inhale, come into a Sphinx pose. Bring your chest forward, shrugging your shoulders away from your ears. Bring your hands back to your shoulders. Exhale, lift up into a downward facing dog. Alternate bending your left leg, then your right leg, and pushing your tailbone up toward the sky. Make sure you are grounded through your entire hand, and so you're not putting too much pressure on your wrists. Lift your right leg up behind you and step your foot forward between your hands, pushing into both feet to come up into a high lunge. Open up into a twist, turning to your right, bringing your left arm in front of you and your right arm behind you. Inhale, come back to center, straighten your front leg and bring your back leg in, dropping the heel down to the mat. Bring your hands to your hips and fold forward at the waist, keeping your back flat and reaching your chin forward towards the ground. Keep a micro bend in your right leg so you're not hyperextending it, and keep pushing your right buttock backwards to keep your hips squared to the top of the mat. Engage your core and press into both feet to come back up into a standing position. Turn to face the side of your mat with your feet parallel to the short ends of the mat. Inhale, rise up, and exhale, hinge forward at your waist, Again, bringing your chin toward the ground and not hunching your back. Keep a micro bend in your knees and grab a hold of your big toes with your two-piece fingers, bending your elbows away from you and drawing the top of your head toward the mat. Inhale, flatten your back. Exhale, engage your core and come back to standing. Turn to face the other side of your mat with your left foot forward and come into a high lunge. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, twist to your left, bringing your right arm forward and continuing to sink your hips down toward the mat. Inhale, come back to center, straighten your front leg and step your back leg in, dropping your heel to the mat. Inhale, lift your chest up, and exhale, fold forward over your left leg, keeping a micro bend in the knee and your chin reaching toward the floor. Engage your core, press into your feet and come back to standing, turning again to the side of your mat. Inhale, lift up, and exhale, fold forward, keeping that micro bend in your knees. Catch a hold of your toes with your two-piece fingers, bend your elbows away from you, and bring your head towards the mat. Inhale, flatten your back, hands to your hips, engage your core, and come back to stand at the top of your mat. Kick your left leg back behind you, square your foot with the back of the mat, and open your arms up into Warrior Two, bending into your right knee and looking out over your right fingertips. Reverse the warrior, bringing your left arm to your back leg and reaching your right arm up overhead, looking up toward the ceiling. Keep sinking your hips down towards the ground. Inhale, coming back into Warrior Two, windmill your arms down to the mat and step your right foot back to meet the left, coming into a downward dog. Push your heels towards the ground, your tailbone up toward the sky, and ground through your fingers. Bring your left foot forward, dropping down the heel of your right foot so that it is parallel with the short end of the mat, and come into a Warrior Two on the other side, arms stretched out to the sides, looking out over your left fingertips. Reverse the warrior, bringing your right hand to your right leg, bringing your left hand up overhead and looking up toward the ceiling. Inhaling back to Warrior Two, windmilling the arms down to the ground and stepping the left foot back to meet the right in a downward facing dog. Bend your knees, look forward, and jump or step to the top of your mat, coming up to standing. Shift your weight onto your left foot and bring your right foot into the inside of your left thigh, hands to your heart, tree pose. Release your leg back to the ground, shaking it out a little bit, and repeat on the other side, shifting your weight onto your right leg and bringing your left foot to the inside of your right thigh, hands to heart. Release your leg back down to the ground, shake out your legs, widen your stance, and keeping your heels grounded into the earth, come down into a yogi squat, using your elbows to push your knees apart and draw your chest forward. And gently lean back, bringing both sit bones to touch the ground and bringing your feet out in front of you, preparing to come into some reclined positions. Straighten your left leg out and bring your right leg towards your chest, grabbing a hold of your big toe with your two-piece fingers and straightening your leg. Bring your right leg across your body, holding onto it with your left hand to come into a twist. This is a good stretch for your IT band. Make sure you are bringing your leg up as close to your head as you can, and you are keeping your right shoulder grounded. Release and come back to center, repeating on the other side. Straighten your right leg out towards the ground and bring your left leg towards your body, catching a hold of your toe with your two-piece fingers and drawing your leg towards your chest. Bring your leg across your body, catching a hold of your left leg with your right hand and coming into our IT band twist. Keeping your leg as close to your head as possible and your left shoulder grounded into the mat. Exhaling back to center, we'll be coming into reclined pigeon. So bring your right ankle over your left knee, interlace your fingers behind your left shin, and draw your legs towards yourself. Keep flexing through both feet, pushing your right knee away from your body and relaxing your shoulders away from your ears. Transitioning into reclined cow face, cross your legs over each other to stack your knees, grab a hold of your feet or ankles, and bring your legs towards yourself, and then out and up. Finishing the sequence with a reclined spinal twist, drop your feet back to the mat, shift your hips over to the right, and drop your knees to the left, looking over your right shoulder. Make sure you keep your shoulder grounded into the mat. Coming back to center, uncross the legs and bring your left ankle over your right knee, drawing your legs in towards your chest with your fingers interlaced behind your right shin. Keep flexing through your left foot and pressing your left knee away from yourself, relaxing your shoulders away from your ears. Transitioning into reclined cow face, cross your left leg over your right, stacking your knees. Bring your legs in towards yourself, grabbing a hold of your feet or ankles. Pull your legs in and then out and up. Release your feet back down to the mat. Shift your hips over to the left and drop your knees to the right, keeping your left shoulder grounded as you look to the left. Exhale back to center, uncross the legs, and coming into happy baby, bring your knees to the outsides of your elbows, catching a hold of the big toes with your two-piece fingers or the outsides of your feet, bringing the knees down towards the ground and rocking from side to side. Release your feet back down to the mat, placing the soles of your feet together and letting your knees fall away from each other, reclined butterfly. You can bring your hands out to either side, rest them on your stomach, or bring them overhead, whatever is the most comfortable for you. Feel free to come from here straight into Shavasana. Otherwise, we are going to take a shoulder stand, so shrugging your elbows and shoulders underneath yourself, supporting your lower back with your hands, point your feet up towards the sky. Keep your chin also up towards the ceiling and bring your chest towards your chin, not your chin towards your chest. Coming into plow pose, start bringing your toes toward the ground behind your head. Interlace your fingers and press your hands into the ground behind your back. Remember, Shavasana is always an option. You can stay here, or you can drop your knees down next to your ears. Keep pressing your hands into the mat behind you. If you feel any pain, come out of this immediately. And unwind, coming back down to the mat. Coming into fish pose, bring your hands underneath your sit bones, shrug your shoulders away from your ears, bend your elbows, and arch your back, dropping your head down toward the mat behind you. And releasing. Preparing to come into Shavasana, make any last movements that you feel necessary, and then relax your shoulders away from your ears, stretching your arms out to the sides, your feet dropping away from each other, and finding a comfortable breath. Breathe deeply. Start wiggling your toes and your fingers. Move your head from side to side. Maybe lick your lips. Stretch your arms up overhead for a big full body stretch. Bring your knees in towards yourself. Maybe rock from side to side, massaging the lower back. Roll onto your right side. Push your hand into the floor and come up into a seated meditative position. Take a few deep breaths here, reflecting on the practice that you just completed, thanking yourself for taking the time out of your day for yourself to help yourself recover, and bringing your hands to the center of your heart. Namaste.